so, we'll see how that goes. Is that working? I think so. I know how that works. Good morning, Faith. Morning, Faith. We've got Connecticut signing on. How's everybody's New Year's? Does anybody have anything in particular that they're declaring for the new year? Or are we all just like quietly going into the new year, holding our breath, hoping nobody notices? Oh, and also opening the room up a little early so that if anybody has any suggestions or poses they want to work on or body parts that they want to work on, you can put it in the chat and we can work it into class. Hey, Mario. Hello, Ben. Welcome in. All right, we have a strong Connecticut showing today. I'm excited to be back. I took a bit of time off from practice, but ready to dive in again. Awesome. Well, today is always the perfect day to begin practice again. And I was just saying that I'll be here every morning at the same time, so any day you wake up on time to come through, we'll be here. Yeah, I think this is recording properly and all that. Oh, I learned how to do this this fancy countdown timer thing, so I can know exactly when to start class. Because before I was always checking my watch and stuff to So this is an upgrade. I feel so tech savvy. So does anybody have anything in particular that they want to work on or stretch out? We're gonna keep it, keep it light. We're gonna start, as always, we're gonna start with a grounding meditation and work into a little bit more heated, active work in the center with some sun salutations and a little variation on that so it doesn't get too boring, and balance, and then end with a nice long Shavasana. New Year's resolution intention to get to a place of peace, love, and acceptance, living alone and spending time alone. Alright. So there's 3 things that spiritually all people need, and type them in the chat. Hello, New York, signing in. So those 3 things are stillness, silence, solitude. And so stillness, silence, and solitude are completely necessary for all people to actually experience peace and calm in themselves. And they are probably the top 3 things that are most discouraged in our society. Because stillness is often confused with laziness, silence is often confused with dumbness, and solitude is confused with loneliness. But if we can get past that initial resistance of nope, that's weird, that's scary, that's lonely, there's a lot to be gained from those practices. And we will get to practice a couple of those today, but not so much solitude since we're all together in this. As always, everything that happens in class today, everything that I say to you is a suggestion. You know where the limit of your body is, if something is hard and you feel like you need to come out of a pose because it's difficult, just see if you have one more deep breath there. You might surprise yourself. But if something is painful to be in any of your joints, so like wrists or knees or your neck, then just, back off a little bit, because there's no competition, and this is a place to heal from injuries, not create new ones. So yeah, and if you're unsure about anything, always ask me any questions. You can always ask me after class in the chat, or direct message me, so we can go over the poses if you feel unsure or unsafe in anything. This is going to be an all levels class, which doesn't mean you should be able to do everything. It's okay to sit something out, go into child's pose, or adjust accordingly to make it work for your body. And there's no shame in that. It's actually like a lot of courage and knowledge to know when to back off or when to alter a pose. So yeah, we're gonna get started just in a second here. So today for class, we'll just need, if you don't have a yoga mat, you can also use a towel, or if you're just on carpet, you don't really even need a mat. I don't practice with a mat usually. It's just easier for me to show you guys. We'll start seated, in a comfortable seated position. We'll start with a grounding meditation, and then head into a 60-minute movement practice, and then end with a nice long Shavasana. It's a final relaxation pose. So coming to a comfortable seat, you can sit cross-legged. If you're on a chair, that's great too. If you're seated on the floor and your lower back's bothering you, just place a block or a pillow underneath your hips so that your hips are higher than your knees. It's called Sukhasana, easy sitting pose. Great. So, chest is over hips, head is over heart. Hands come to rest on the lap, either palms down to ground down, or palms up to give and receive energy. We'll start with 3 cleansing breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And the shoulders can rise on the inhale towards the ears, and the exhale, they just drop away. Let the breathing return to a normal breath, just in and out through the nose. Eyes can close if that's comfortable for you. If not, just lower the eyes down towards the ground a couple feet ahead of your seat. And we'll just take a moment here to arrive. Let go of everything that came before and everything that's to come up after. And just become present to yourself here in this space, in this moment. And begin to allow sounds into your awareness. Maybe an airplane going overhead, traffic out the window. Whatever it might be, just inviting it in. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. and the weight of your body where it touches the ground. And the weight of your hands on your lap. And begin to scan your body from head down towards toes, checking in for any places of tightness or sensitivity. Any restlessness or fidgeting. And just taking note for any places that call out for your attention to work into those spaces as we move throughout our practice today. Notice energetically pranamaya kosha. Where are you right now in this moment? Scale of 1 to 10. 1 being exhausted, fatigued, ready for bed. 10 being so full of energy it's hard to sit still. And shifting the awareness up to the breath. No need to change it, just observe every inhalation and exhalation. Any holding in between. Shift the awareness up to the mind, allowing thoughts and feelings to arise without filtering and without engaging. Just observe these thoughts from a distance, like watching clouds pass by in the sky. And just take a moment here to notice where you went. What are the quality of the thoughts? Do they have a positive or negative tilt to them? Are they ruminating on the past or predicting the future? Not good or bad, not right or wrong, just something to notice. And return the attention back down to the breath. Anytime during class you find your mind going off on a train of thought, just bring it back to the breath, anchor with the breath. You can even repeat internally, inhale, exhale, as your own personal mantra. Here we'll actively expand the breath, inhaling into the belly. Belly inflates like a balloon, so it expands. Exhale, belly button draws in towards spine. Complete exhalation, emptying out the lungs. Inhale fills belly and ribs. Exhale releases ribs and belly. Inhale fills belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale releases chest, ribs, belly. Inhaling from bottom to top, belly, ribs, chest expands. Exhaling top to bottom, chest, ribs, belly deflate. Following your own breath's pace here. Release any tension from the jaw. Keep the spine nice and straight. And slow your breath down to the best of your ability. This breath is called Dirga Pranayam, 3-part breath. And it helps calm the nervous system, taking us out of fight or flight into parasympathetic mode, rest and digest. You can do the best you can to the best of your ability to keep this nice deep breathing throughout class, and anytime you forget, it's okay. We just remember and go back to an inhalation and exhalation, in and out through the nose, allowing the belly to expand on the inhale and deflate on the exhale. Invite your hands to meet at heart center, palms pressed together in Anjali Mudra. It's like prayer pose. Thumbs are at your sternum, no space between the fingers. Here we'll set an intention. Since it's a new year, there's always lots of resolutions and all that jazz going around, but in yoga it's called sankalpa, true heart's desire. And that sounds more like an affirmation than a resolution. So it's affirmative and in the present. So instead of I wish I was peaceful, it's I am peaceful. And peace would be something really interesting to work with in class, because there's going to be moments in class that you probably don't feel peaceful. And you just go back to that intention. Whatever first comes to mind for you works just great. And we'll seal those intentions with the sacred sound of Om. First, a cleansing breath. Release your hands down to your lap, chin drops towards chest. And on an inhale, right ear rolls over towards right shoulder. Exhaling, chin releases down towards chest. And left ear rolls over towards left shoulder. Allowing the head to roll side to side here. Just opening up the space between neck and upper back. And the next time your head rolls over to the center, bring it back up to neutral. And just begin to roll the shoulders forward. And roll the shoulders back. Nice. Inhaling, arms sweep up overhead. We'll begin connecting the breath to the movement here. Exhale, releases hands down. There we go. Inhaling, rise up. Exhale, hands release down. If your legs have been crossed this entire time, change the cross to the opposite leg is in front. And then right hand releases down, left arm reaches over for a side bend. Inhaling up through center, we just wave all the way to the other side. Exhaling into the bend. Following the breath in to rise. And out to bend. So we're just opening up the side body here. And meet back up in center. And twist to the right. Left hand lands on right knee. Right hand releases behind your body and chest opens to the side. Inhale, rise like you're being pulled up towards the ceiling. And exhale, twist left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. And exhale, twist. Inhale, center. This time just bend the elbows, let the hands come towards ear height. And just wave, we're just going to warm up the wrists a bit here. Then play piano. So we're just moving the wrists, moving the fingers side to side, full range of motion. Now flip the palms towards the ceiling, pressing your fingers back as far as possible, just with your own arm strength, and give it a wave side to side like you're tossing pizzas in really bad form. Really spread your fingers wide. For this one, you should start to feel a bit fatigued in the forearms. And we're just going to shake it off like you're shaking off water. For 3, 2, 1. All right. Legs come out in front. Spread and scrunch the toes. Roll out the ankles. Just getting all the clicks and cracks out right in the beginning. Bend in the knees. Let the feet come nice and wide, like hips distance apart. And then drop the knees side to side. So they're far enough apart that they're not landing stacked, they're landing on the floor. Sweeping up the hips. And we'll let the knees fall over to the right. Hands come to frame the knee. So foot is in front of the knee, not on top. Hands framing this right knee. On the inhale, open the chest. We're doing like a bit of a back bend here, pulling the shoulders back. Shoulder blades are squeezed together. Deep breath in, like you're taking a breath above water. And exhale, chin down towards chest. We're going to roll down like a wave. And inhaling, bring it back up. Just like you're diving under, I don't know, like a dolphin wave. Exhaling, roll down. fat. And meaning at the top, we're going to release in the reverse. Going belly, chest, head. Then your hands can come down onto stacked fists or let your head rest on top of your hands. We're just going to take a couple deep breaths here, letting this bottom right thigh and hip relax. You might feel that stretch there. It's okay if your head is up here on top of a block or a pillow. So inhales just give us some space, and exhales relax us deeper into the posture. Then hands press into the ground, we come back up, seated upright. And here we make a 90-degree angle with our legs, so it's a nice zigzag, especially this back left leg. So we're just going to do some rises here to work to build up some muscle here. So starting upright, trying to keep the ankle and the knee at the same height the entire time. We lift. Actually, you can bring it back a bit more. There we go. Yes. So leg lifts and lowers. I don't know if you can see it up here on the white ground is probably better. So I'm still facing this direction. This leg's at 90 degrees, and I'm lifting and lowering. If you're going to do this and it's like, the just physics of it is not happening, you can lean forward a bit, and it's going to be a bit easier. So you want to find where it's possible and challenging. So shoulders over the hips is going to be that starting point. So you should feel it in this side glute area, your hip. We got 3 more here. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Okay, let's stretch that out. Knees fall side to side, just releasing all that tension we built. And they land over to the left. Hands come to frame the left knee. Inhaling, proud, like a proud pigeon pose. We just pull the shoulders back. And exhale, chin to chest, rolling down, like diving under a wave. Inhale brings you back up, right? Exhale, rounding down. And inhale, waving back up. Follow your own breath space. We meet back up here, and in the reverse, we come down to land. Landing belly, chest, head onto the ground or stacked fists onto our hands. And just relaxing all the muscles in the body, just relaxing into that stretch in the left hip. Or you might feel it in the left glute or thigh. Returning to the breath, follow the inhale and the exhale. Press it back upright. Setting up that 90 degrees, keeping the knee and the ankle at the same height. Lift. I'm just gently touching down on the lower. There's not like a slamming down happening. Four, Alright. Let's drop the knees side to side. And bring the feet together and let the knees split open like butterfly. Like all of it's called butterfly pose. It's called Trikonasana, bound angle in yoga. So just grab your ankles or your shins, and you actually can give it a couple little butterfly flaps here. Give your feet a little bit of a massage, almost like you're opening them like a book. And here it's pretty natural to start rounding the spine to get here. So I'm going to use my hands grabbing onto my legs for leverage to keep my spine nice and tall, or as close as I can to straight. If that's still really difficult, you can bring your feet out a little bit further and it's going to be easier for you to sit up straight. If this is really easy to sit in, you bring your heels in closer to your hips. Now, wherever you can be to sit up nice and tall, holding on to that grip. Inhale, take a deep breath in. And exhale, we fold forward. So we're hinging forward, with a nice flat back to the best of our ability. Elbows press into the knees. I'm not slamming them down towards the ground, I'm just kind of using that as far as I can with a straight back. Full breath in here. And on the exhale, let yourself round. So I'm not trying to get my nose to my toes, it's more like I'm trying to get my chest to my heels, depending how far your feet are from your body. So here we're just in a folded, bound angle pose. Let the shoulders relax away from the ears. The head can hang heavy if that feels good. If not, nose is trying to go past the toes here. Breathing into the backside body. Exhale, finds a little more space to press down on the knees. Last deep breath here. Gently pressing back up to seated. Bring the knees together and come into tabletop pose. Hands come below the shoulders, knees below the hips. So it's a nice flat spine. And we'll just roll through a couple of rounds of cat and cow pose. For our cow pose, belly drops, hips and chest rise. Inhaling. And exhaling, round in the spine, belly tucks in, chin tucks in towards chest. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. And bring it back to neutral. Right leg reaches up and back behind you. In alignment with the rest of the body, just roll out the ankle. That's reaching back, kicking back like the heel is going to touch the wall behind you. Left arm sweeps up like you're going to shake somebody's hand. Head stays neutral, looking down towards the floor. So there's a nice long line in the spine, extended tabletop pose. Deep breath in, reaching for opposite directions. On the exhale, just like cat pose, round in the spine, but this time elbow and knee come together. But it's like you're trying to get the middle of your spine to touch the ceiling. Inhale, reaching long. Exhale, curling it in, lifting the belly out of the way. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, extend. Then the left hand touches down, the right knee touches down. wide base, stable base. Heels pressing away, so the leg is actively straight. Okay. And the right hand reaches forward. So making a nice long line, long straight line of energy, reaching in opposite directions. Take a deep breath in to get tall. And exhale, curl it in like through cat pose, elbow towards knee, knee towards elbow. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reaching for opposite walls. And exhale, curl it in. Lifting the belly out of the way. Inhale for length. And the right hand touches down, the left knee touches down. Right foot steps up between the hands, and left foot steps up between the hands. Bringing some space between the feet, we inhale to a halfway lift, hands on shins. It's like making the number 7 in the body. My lower back is going towards the wall behind me, and the crown of my head's going towards the wall in front of me. So nice and flat spine. And exhale, forward fold. Here we'll come into a ragdoll, grabbing opposite elbows. My feet are nice and wide. I'm just going to bend one knee and then the other to give a little sway side to side. Really no wrong answers here. Get my head and my body in that yes. Give my head a shake no. Letting my head be completely dead weight. Elongating the spine. Release my hands down to the mat, bend in the knees, heel toe the feet together so my big toes are touching, a little space between the ankles. And then bending in the knees to protect the lower back, I roll up one vertebra at a time, all the way up to stand. Arms sweep up when you get there. And exhale, hands to heart center. Sukhasana, mountain pose. There we go. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Just taking a moment here, eyes can close. And just feel yourself upright now. Bringing to mind your sankalpa, your intention or dedication for this class, your why are you here? With that why in mind, we'll inhale, arms sweep up overhead, eyes follow fingertips. Exhale, forward fold, hands come down through center, bend in the knees to come down. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. So the knees stay straight-ish. The hips stay high. The head comes down. Then bend in the knees. Sweep the arms forward. Chair pose. So it's like you're sitting in a chair. So you're getting your thighs almost parallel to the ground. Your knees get sent so far back that you can see your toes past your knees. And then the shoulders, the spine lengthens out. Your shoulders are going to press back. Arms come forward to counterbalance. Got a deep breath in here. You might even raise the arms towards the ears. And exhale, high twist, open towards the screen. Inhale, back up through center. And exhale, twist the other way. Opening the arms. My knees are squeezing together. Inhale up through center, like there's a postcard between my knees that I don't want to drop. And exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. We've got one more on each side. Last side, building strength in the legs. And this time, up through center, just raise all the way up. Reach tall, little baby back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Right foot takes a giant step back. Just checking in that you're not on not on a balance beam, more like you're on skis. Feet nice and wide apart from one another. Right heel's pressing back. Left knee over left ankle. You can use your leg as a step in between to come upright. So you've got shoulders over hips, knee over ankle. High lunge. Hips are squared to the front of the room like there's 2 strings from my hip bones to the wall. They'd be the same length. Slowly but surely, arms might rise up towards the sky. Exhale, shoulders drop away from the ears. And the back ankle or a back heel comes down to the ground, foot comes to 45-degree angle. Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Deep breath in here and out. Full breath in, little tilt of the chest up, pulling the shoulders up and back. And exhale, waving down, belly, chest, head, arms sweep back. Inhale, rise as you back up. Maybe that back bend gets a little bigger. Exhale, waves you down, belly, chest, head, arms sweep back. Still kind of in slow motion with control. Inhale, rise. Exhale, belly, chest, head. And rise. Here we'll come into Warrior 2. So bringing that back foot down and back behind you, arms come down parallel to the ground. Now my back leg, the toes are facing you on the video. Right knee stays over the ankle. Let's straighten it out because we've been bent in that knee for a long time. That feels good. And the hips tilt. This is going to be like a teapot that tilts over to the side. Trikonasana triangle pose, we worked on this last week. Let your hips pop to the back and reach the arms towards the front wall. Then just the arms rotate to stack right shoulder over left shoulder. Fingers towards the sky. That bottom hand is pressed into the bottom leg for leverage. So it's like I'm between a pane of glass. Trying to keep my shoulders and my hips in the same plane. So we just got one full breath here. Bend in the knee, back to Warrior 2. Front arm rises, side bend. The inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the ground, pivoting onto the back toes. Step that left foot back, or front foot back, to plank pose. Nice straight line from the heels to the crown of the head. It's a little tuck of the lower hip, squeezing the glutes for strength. Deep breath in here. Exhale, we lower down halfway, elbows scraping the rib cage. Then knees, chin, chest touch down. And press it forward for our cobra pose. Tops of the feet press into the ground. Glutes are squeezed tight to protect the lower back. Hands are below the shoulders. Shoulder blades squeezed together. Bhujangasana. Deep breath in here. And out. Another breath in. And pressing the hips up and back. Child's pose. Big toes touch. Knees come out wide. Hips press back. Letting the hands press into the ground so hard that the elbows stay lifted. Let your forehead come down to the ground. Then toes tuck under, hips press up high, downward facing dog. Just like a momentary little rest there. So in down dog, my heels are pressing towards the ground. Doesn't matter if they touch or not, that's just the direction that they go. Fingers are spread wide. Hips are up towards where the back wall meets the ceiling. And my legs are working towards straight. So the backs of my knees are working towards the wall behind me. Letting my chest drop forward. Head can rock, yes. No. Eyes stay open, looking between the feet or between the knees. Adho Mukha Shavasana. We got one more deep breath here. And the right leg reaches up and back behind you. And we played with this before, so it doesn't have to go super high. Just going towards the wall behind. Look up between the hands. Just like we practiced before, cat pose. Rounding in the spine. This is called tiger. Knee comes in towards nose. Shoulders come over wrists. And the foot steps in between the hands. That might take a couple steps. But that's the direction that we're headed in, right? Left foot steps up to meet right foot. Inhaling to a halfway lift. Big toes come to touch. A little space between the ankles. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolls you all the way up to stand. Arms sweep up when you get there. And exhale, hands to heart center. Alright, now we're nice and warm. Let's do the other side. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Squeeze in the glutes. Hips press forward. Chest rises up for a back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chair pose. Bend in the knees. Swing the arms forward. Extend the hips back. So you just got one twist side to side. Inhaling through center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, center. Rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Left foot takes a giant step back. Right knee over right ankle. Right, so the opposite leg should be forward now. And we're pressing it up to our high lunge. We always use that leg as stability. The joints stacked on top of one another is much more stable. The right hip's pulling back, left hip's pulling forward. Hips are same distance from that front wall. There may even be a little bend to the back knee to get the shoulders up over the hips. And then we're going to move into warrior one, which is just dropping that back left heel down. The foot's at a 45-degree angle, and then that knee does straighten out in this pose. You might have to bring your legs a little bit further or a little bit closer together for that positioning, and that's all right. You just adjust. Hips are still square. Arms come up overhead. Exhale, shoulders melt away from the ears. Nice. Deep breath in here. Little baby back bend. Arms pull back by the ears. Exhale, rolling forward. Belly, chest, head release down. Arms sweep back. Inhale, we bring it back upright. Exhale, waves you down. With control, nice and slow. Inhale brings you back up. Last one. And exhale, stay here in this warrior one. And we'll come into warrior two. So moving this back foot back, bringing the left foot parallel to the short end of the mat. Right knee stays bent over the ankle. If you were to draw a line from that front foot straight back, it would hit the middle arch of the back foot. Arms are parallel to the ground. Straighten out that front right leg, give it a little break. And then tip the right hip down, left hip up, like teapot. Reaching the arm forward, sliding the spine. And then just rotate the hands. The right hand comes down, left arm comes up. When you're in this pose, Trikonasana, triangle pose, and you're wondering why, how did I get here, why am I here, this is difficult. Just bring to mind that intention, that dedication, that proclamation of peace or calm or love or health or whatever it might be, whatever brought you here this morning. And know that you are that right now, regardless of your emotions and that inner dialogue. Last breath here, you can do it. Bend in the right knee. Warrior two. Reach that front arm up, side bend. Exhale, cartwheel your arms down to the ground. Pivot on that back foot. Plank pose, push-up position. So I'm pressing the ground away here. Deep breath in. Exhale, slow motion, lower down just halfway. Then knees, chin, chest. Pressing it through. You can come into our full cobra here. Never straighten out your arms all the way. Give yourself a little bend. It's a missed opportunity to build some strength in the triceps, which you'll appreciate during our next plank pose. So my elbows are squeezed in tight. My glutes are squeezed to protect the lower back. Shoulder blades pulled together. Maybe lifting into an upward facing dog, which just is like pressing the feet into the ground so hard that the hips and knees lift. Full breathing here. Last deep breath in. And exhale, child's pose. Hips get sent back, knees bend, they come wide, big toes come to touch. Hips get sent back as if they're going to touch the heels. If they do, that's great. If they don't, that's great. That's still the direction they're moving in. Hands pressing into the ground so hard that the elbows stay lifted. And the forehead releases onto the ground. We've got 3 deep breaths here. Pressing the hands into the ground, coming back to our tabletop pose. Toes tuck under, hips press up high for downward facing dog. Fingertips are spread wide, fingers are spread wide. Give a little feel, a little pedal out to find that right spacing. Sending the hips up and back. We're not going to break down downward facing dog today, but it's definitely on the docket. I know this can be a really challenging pose. So we'll workshop it and break it down later. Just do the best you can today. Keep breathing, keep your eyes open. Left leg reaches up and back behind you, foot towards the wall behind you. Deep breath in. And exhale. Just like cat pose, we're going into tiger. Come on to the right tiptoes, round in the spine, belly button towards spine, knee towards nose, shoulders over the wrists, footsteps up between the hands. Sweet. Right foot steps up to meet the left, inhaling to a halfway lift, big toes come to touch, a little space between the heels. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale brings you all the way up to stand. Hard to sweep up when you get there. And exhale, hands to heart center. Nice. Turn to face one another. Take a sip of water. Or just take a moment to breathe. You're doing great. Maybe if you showed up, you're doing great. If you moved, if you did any of these poses, you're doing great. If you're here for the whole freaking ride, then more power to you. So, we're turning to face one another. We're going to find a drishti. That's going to be a focal point that's not the screen. It can be right below or right above, somewhere that's not going to move, not a pet, not another person, not me because I talk with my hands. Hands come onto the hips. And then just bring all the weight onto this left leg and roll out the right foot. Right. I'm just going to let this knee open out to the side like a cabinet door opening. So now this right knee is facing the wall. I'm going to drag the foot in towards my ankle. And maybe the toes are still on the ground. Like there's a string pulling you up from the crown of your head. Just stay engaged. Stay nice and tall. The standing leg is strong. Maybe the foot comes up to the calf. So that nice little like round divot in my foot is just gonna fit nicely on my calf muscle. Maybe it comes up to the thigh and you use your hand to get up there, that's all good. But not on the knee. So there's like that round part of the foot that fits nicely on the knee, but it's actually not super hot for that. It's called your ACL, right? So we're not gonna do that. We're on the ankle, the calf, or the inner thigh. Either way, it's not about the height of the foot, and that's the difficulty level. This knee has to stay out no matter what. So I'm pressing my hips forward by squeezing my glutes to keep this inner thigh open. And my foot is pressing against my leg, just like in chair pose when I was squeezing my knees together, like there's a postcard between them. It's like there's a postcard between this foot and this thigh. Squeeze them together, even if they're on your calf. My bottom foot is going to be arranging and rearranging. You'll feel it kind of moving a bit naturally. It does that all day. Here's the good news. Every time you're standing up, your feet are refiring different little muscles in there to adjust for the movement. We're all breathing, blood's pumping. So there's always movement in our bodies, and our feet, our ankles, all those stability muscles are actually very, very used to keeping us upright. So now we're just putting all the pressure on this one leg, this one foot. Just teaching it a new trick. I'm just letting my hands go wherever is going to feel good to balance it out. Slow and steady, no frantic waving. And then I'm just going to slowly release in reverse. Letting the foot come down, down. Okay. Deep breath in, let it go. Awesome. Roll out the other foot a bit, just so you can get all the weight into this right leg. And let the left knee open out to the side. Drag the foot in. So we all start here. Maybe that foot comes up to the calf. One side might feel different than the other. That's totally normal. I'm just finding a place for that foot to rest. Without sacrificing the opening of the knee. The hips are pressing forward, head's reaching up, foot's pressing down. So we've got a lot, everything's going in, and then vertical, up or down. And it's okay for one leg to feel different than the other, right? Because we don't really treat our body symmetrically the rest of the day. We only drive with the right leg. Probably have a tendency to cross the legs one way or another. So this is just, it's not even an opportunity to correct or fix, something to really correct or fix in yoga. It's really just, we're just noticing. And then maybe later on in the day when you go to cross your legs, you'll think, oh, let me just Do the left leg on top this time instead. Maybe open every doorknob with your left hand today. Or if you're left-handed, with your right hand today. It's called Trikonasana, tree pose. We just got another breath here. And we're just gonna let it down. Nice. So now we're just gonna give it a shake out. This is called lymphatic shaking. I'm like, I know the word. I've known this for years, but you know, obviously I need a good shake out too. So the whole idea of this is that there's like no wrong way of doing this. It's just letting your body be loose and just letting it like jiggle. So how do we get there? Bend in the knees, we come up off the heels, then we just let the heels like slam down, just like let that bounce kind of happen. So we're just kind of bouncing here together. Shake out hands. Just kind of let all that tension go. You can even give it a little hop if it feels good to jump for you, then you should definitely jump. Shaking up the legs. No, where nobody can see you doing this, at least. Twisting side. Keeping that hop. And we're gonna go into something called breath of joy. It's a pranayama breathing technique. So what it looks like is 3 sips of air in. Those 3 sips of air in are going to equal 1 big breath in. And then it's going to be a loud and powerful ha. On the exhale, you're going to say that out loud. Wake up your neighbors. Maybe invite them to class tomorrow. So the movement looks like this. Sip of air in, and then out, ha. So from the side, in, out, ha. In, ha. In, ha. In, ha. 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 3 more. Ha. Ha. Last one. Ha. Okay. Let's take a moment here. Close your eyes. Just take a moment. Just let all that snow globe glitter settle. Put your hands on your heart or on your belly. And just notice here your feet on the ground, keeping you upright, although now that I mentioned balance, you're going to really feel that sway. Notice how your heartbeat has changed, how your breathing has changed. Notice how the temperature of the air has changed in relation to your skin. And notice how your energy has shifted since we first checked in with it. And what can be created in a very small period of time. Gently blink your eyes open, release your hands. We'll inhale, arms sweep up overhead. And exhale, Gently fold over. Bend in the knees deep, deep, deep. You can come down to kneeling. Drop the hips down to one side. We're coming down to face the back wall. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Roll back. Giving yourself a little rock side to side, a little lower back massage. Let the knees fall over to the right. Right hand comes to land on top of the right knee. Left arm opens up like the letter T. I'm pressing my left shoulder down towards the ground for a spinal twist. So if you're seeing me from the ceiling, or from the upright view, it's just like our chair pose twist. This hand's on the knee. And we're on the floor. Shoulders pressing to the ground. The right hand's just gently on the leg. There's no pressure there. We're just letting gravity do the work. The head can look over the left fingertips to give the spine a complete twist. Sutta, Matindrasana, supine spinal twist. And the head comes up through center, knees come up through center. Allow the knees to fall over to the left. Left hand comes to land on top of the right knee. Right arm opens up like the letter T. You can look over that extended right arm. Bringing the right shoulder to the ground. And just letting yourself breathe and relax. Head comes up through center, knees come up through center. And just check in with your body here. Is there any last wiggle or pose or stretch that would feel good in your body? And just taking a moment to roll through that now. As we set up for our final relaxation pose, Shavasana, corpse pose. Just letting yourself stretch through that. If you're ready to lay in stillness and in silence, just allowing the legs to extend down the length of the mat. Allow the arms to extend down by the sides, palms face open to the ceiling. Hands land at least 6 inches from the body. Feet land at least a foot apart from one another. I'm going to come up to seated so I can actually speak to you, but you stay laying down if that's comfortable for you. And just like in the beginning of class, we'll take 3 cleansing breaths. Just imagine with every breath, every exhale, let something more go. Let some relaxation enter. Inhaling through the nose. Audibly exhale through the mouth, audible sigh. 2 more like that. Allow your eyes to close if that's comfortable. And once again, we arrive here on the mat. Invite space between top and bottom teeth as the jaw hangs heavy. Give a little swallow to release any tension in the throat. Let your exhalations become longer and deeper than your inhalations. And all the muscles around the lips and mouth relax. Tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth. Eyes rest heavy in their sockets. And space between the eyebrows broadens as the forehead relaxes. All the muscles surrounding the nose and the ears, and the back of the head relax. And the neck and throat release. Shoulders melt away. And upper arms and elbows release. Forearms and wrists rest. And the backs of the hands, palms, knuckles, fingers, fingernail beds. All of the hands alive with energy and potential. Rest and recharge. And the upper back, middle back, and lower back release. Chest naturally rising and falling. Heart center oxygenating, distributing lifeblood. Belly naturally rising and falling with the breath. And the hips rest heavy. Glutes and pelvis all rest heavy. And thighs and knees relax. Lower legs and ankles release. And the heels, arches, toe ball mounds, tops of the feet and toes, all rest. Whole body rests. Whole body relaxes. Whole body integrates all the effort from practice today. Allow for everything that did and did not happen in class today. And know that in yoga, practice makes practice. Nothing more, nothing less. And that's the good news. Gently allow your inhalations to deepen, become longer and deeper than your exhalations. Invite movement back into your body, beginning to wiggle fingers and toes. Head can rock side to side. And arms reach up overhead for a full body stretch. Allow the knees to bend and roll over to whichever side feels natural, landing in a fetal position. Fully relaxed and fully released on one side. Bring to mind any intention or dedication you set for class today. And if that intention serves you, take it with you off the mat and into the world. Allow it to affect you and the people around you for the rest of your day. Gently using as little effort as possible. Eyes can even stay closed for this. Press your hands into the ground to come up to a seated position, just like how we started class. Hands come to meet at heart center. Today we practiced a class centered on intention and the 6 movements of the spine, bending, folding, twisting. The first namaste I said silently to yourself, thanking your body for the effort it put into class. And the second namaste I said out loud to one another. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who joined me in this practice today. First practice of 2021, at least for me. Who knows, maybe everyone else has been going to classes all weekend. But first one here, thank you to everyone who's been here since November. I can't believe we've been doing this for over a month, almost 2 months. It's pretty wild. So, really grateful for all of you and all of you just tuning in for the first time today too. Hope to see you again. Hello, hi Mom. Namaste, Lisa, love it. Namaste, namaste. Sugar Dragon, thank you for another great class. Happy New Year to you too, Linda. Alright. We've got New York, we've got Connecticut, we've got Texas. Thank you. Do you accept donations on Venmo? I do. It's so my Venmo, so you can also do it through this. Is that how I do it? I don't remember. Landon, namaste. Well, it's on Venmo. I don't know how to do links. Or there's also a tip jar here on my Twitch page. Either way, that goes through PayPal. And Venmo just goes directly to me. So yeah, they both work. I appreciate it. It does help. I'm trying to multi-stream so I can have this go live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time, but it's gonna cost me like $30 a month, and I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna be worth it. But you're welcome, Vig. Happy to be here. Dare Squad. First class, Katie and hi, Sarah. Oh, hi! I have been able to get you. Oh, I'm so glad. Twin power over here. Wow. Oh, my mom's here too, and she's a twin. So now we just need to get her sister to come through. Namaste, Ben. Thank you. It's so great to have you guys here. yeah, so we got a little heated in the middle there, but I still wanted to make it like accessible. I'm always down for comments either here in the chat or afterwards if you feel like the class was too hard or too easy, and like I can give you tips on how to make literally any pose easier and literally any pose harder. For sure, it goes in both directions. That was great. Hi Rachel, Sarah, and Katie and Ben. I know it's like a college reunion. I freaking love you guys. That was great. Usually I have to sit out the last few stretches, but I was able to do them all today. That's amazing, Ben, because we actually with all like the lunges and the triangle poses and all of that, it was quite a bit. So that's pretty impressive. Today was not the easiest class. Hi Maria, hi Landon. Everyone knows each other, so nice. Kept high-fiving during poses. It was great. Twin power. Yeah, I love it. Hi Chiluchi. Oh yeah, Sammy Yoga is my mom. She's like, she goes, I made an account so that I would remember what it was for, so I named it Sammy Yoga. And I'm like, that's your name now to everybody. It's gonna be that. But it's really cute. I love it. I was like, don't even change it. It's literally the best. Oh man. Okay. People, I don't get your guys' text message till after class because it's like quieted and then it's like, I'll be there. And I'm like, excellent. 2 hours ago. How's everybody feeling? Does anybody... Sam's mom is great. She's been to like all of my classes here. It's nice. So does anybody have any intentions that they want to share? Did anything show up for anybody? I can tell you my my intention that I've kind of been working with for years has been I flow through life with ease and grace, because that's one of my teachers for Yoga Nidra. That was hers, and she's like, you can just use mine if you don't have one. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna like use yours until I figure my own out. And I've been like still using Jennifer Reese's intention like almost 6 years later, and I'm like, but honestly, it's a good one. I was incredibly aware how much slouching I've been doing during all my gift crafting. During all my everything crafting, dude. I know, I'm a yoga teacher. I've been doing this for like 17 years, and I'm always like, constantly, always gotta bring in some back bends to class, to my day in general. Like undo all of the forward slouching. And neck feels better. Oh, good. And we didn't even focus on too many neck things. We have so many neck stretches for you, girl. But so it's like twofold. It's like stretching your neck out in the opposite direction from where we usually are, and then it's strengthening your upper back. So we did do some of that today, like with Warrior 2, squeeze the shoulder blades together. That motion, that like undoes and builds up your resiliency and endurance to have better posture. And cobra pose. So when we're on the floor and we're like lifting, that's like undoing all that slouching. Holding my back straight was definitely a chore today, but it felt so much better by the end of class. Oh, good, I'm glad. Thank you, Sam. Typing. You're welcome. Yeah, look forward to much more. There's always going to be we're always going to work on next stuff during the week. In general. Typing on PS4 is hard. Oh, you're watching me on your PS4? Cool, you got me on the big screen. Hey. How weak our wrists are in general. Yes. Oh, girl, I got you. You know I got you when it comes to wrist stuff. I have so many wrist strengthening poses. Yeah. Well, yeah. I want to make sure. Well, in the morning. So I'm committed to getting here 10 minutes early for class, so that people can type in chat and tell me what they want to work on. And if you say wrists, I can do wrists that day. Lots of fun like feet stuff too. because people don't think about their wrists and their ankles as like weak points until, think about like, God forbid, knock on wood, when people fall or slip on the ice or anything like that, like what goes is their ankles and their wrists. And like, when's the last time you actually like freaking, you know, worked on strengthening your wrists or your ankles? But like, that's what yoga's all about. Like, I have so many of those things to help build resiliency. And then when you decide to randomly buy a penny board at Goodwill and skateboard a mile and a half back, even though you've never skateboarded in your life, like my dumbass did, and fall again and again, you may end up with some bruises, but no broken wrists, no twisted ankles. So, thank you, past self. It's not the funnest thing. So I thought about doing wrists today. I really, really did. And then I was like, wow, for all the people tuning in for the first time, they're going to be like, F this, and never come back. Although, I guess if you're with me for like lymphatic shaking and then like yelling after, like during breathing techniques to like release tension and stress, then, and you still come back, then like, you in it, baby. You're down for the craziness. And like, but I think that stuff can be kind of fun, except for when people start crying. But then it's also good when you start crying, because you're obviously like releasing a lot of like emotional baggage. But I'm gonna keep doing that every day, because I feel like there's some of you out there who probably don't feel super comfortable screaming at the end of Breath of Joy. But if we do it every day, I feel like it's gonna be like, we're building this safe space together, and we're gonna like get there until you can really fucking shake it out, and then you're gonna realize, or you're gonna like discover for yourself why it's called Breath of Joy. Because like, if you're not doing it, and I know, because I was like way too cool to do it all the way the first time, because I was like, this is embarrassing, like I'm not doing this, even though everyone else in the room is doing it. It took me a few times, so there's no judgment, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. And like, the day you join in, girl, 60-inch TV, oh my gosh, I'm on a 60-inch TV, that's intimidating. Wow, that's awesome, cool. My left hip keeps me from doing a lot of positions. Okay. Yeah, we actually did like quite a few hip things today. But there'll be more hip things coming up. But yeah, we could talk about what position specifically you can't get into, and then I can give you an alternative to do instead of that. And yeah, don't get hung up if like on your left side you can't do something that you can on the right side. Still do it on the right side. It's okay. We don't have, like, there's like this obsession with like balancing left and right that is just not actually possible to perfection. So it's okay. Just because like we have like something going on with the left hip doesn't mean we can't keep building up the right. Lymphatic shaking equals best. Scaring my neighbors is the goal. Same. I'm like, yeah, if your neighbor's here, you just be like, oh, you should join in. Like, see, and then just blame it on me. Just be like, yo, it's this crazy 3-eyed tiger girl on Twitch. Breath of Joy legit brought me joy today. I felt like giggling the whole time. Yay! I'm so glad, Big. Yeah, oh my gosh. Breath of Joy, I love Breath of Joy is probably like my favorite. I had a teacher who I like not interned with, but she was my mentor for my yoga mentor for a year, and I was at like almost all of her classes, just assisting, which is like not a thing during COVID, but like literally got to like put my hands on people, give them massages, and like align them. We'll see if that's even legal moving forward, but you know. Anyway, she does lymphatic shaking every class, and she's really the one who taught me. Like, I had been taught Breath of Joy like years before her, but together I was like, oh my gosh, this plus this equals magic. And she wouldn't even do Breath of Joy. She just did lymphatic shaking and she would turn down the lights and just let people like yell, like every class. So you were like shaking for like 10 minutes, like 10 minutes of a 90-minute class is just like screaming and like shaking and like yelling, and it was like really, really, really triggering for so many people who like would never come back. But the people who were into it and like felt safe and like had that relationship built up with the space, not even necessarily with the people around you, because it would be like 60 people in the room, like a lot of people in the room. So it's not like you know everybody, but like if you trust the teacher, you trust the actual room that nothing bad's gonna happen to you and nobody's gonna leave their mat. Man, that was intense, but I got rid of so much trauma, like so much emotional burden in that space. But for me, where I'm at right now, and I'm like lymphatic shaking plus breath of joy is just controlled enough, just silly and like uncontrolled and spontaneous enough to like, you know, just uncomfortable enough to work. I love how positive you are. It makes the class so relaxing and worth doing. Thank you for that. Welcome. Yeah. Try to stay positive. It's a new year. Stay optimistic, right, guys? I mean, there's no, for not being positive and optimistic, then I don't know. If we're not optimistic about the year to come, like, it's like, what's the point? Like, at least try to be. But yeah, appreciate that. Try to keep it real. Also, I'm always in a good mood before, during, and after yoga. Not during, always. Sometimes I'm like super angry. And then I'm like, alright, I should stop making people do push-ups. But it's all good. That's what yoga is, just practice for the rest of our lives. So, I'm back. Oh, thank you, all my loves who sent me Venmos and PayPals. I really appreciate you. It makes a really big difference. So I tried recording this class. I got my last class recorded, so I'm going to be sending out. I found it on my files. So yeah, if you, obviously this class is free anytime you show up. And then, but yeah, if you do tip, then I'll send you the link to the recording so you can have a class on the days that you can't come, or if like say you can't make it tomorrow but we're doing wrist exercises and you want them, send me a Venmo, then I'll send you the recording of that class so you can watch it on your own time. It's just a private YouTube link. Yeah, appreciate you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Happy New Year, and appreciate it, I love you. I'll probably just be DMing all of you guys for your, oh no, I won't, what are we talking about? I will just direct message you on whatever platform we usually speak, so whether that's, it's all different people, so whether that is Instagram or text message, I will message you the link. Alright, I love you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. See ya. Have a good day. Thank you. Happy New Year. Bye, everyone. Everyone say hello to your partners for me, too. To Julia and everybody.